The Trump administration wants to bribe Greenlanders to sway them to join the U.S. According to sources within the Trump administration, the United States could consider paying residents of Greenland to persuade them to join the United States. U.S. officials have discussed sending lump sum payments to Greenlanders as part of a bid to convince them to secede from Denmark and potentially join the U.S., according to four sources familiar with the matter. While the exact dollar figure and logistics of any payment are unclear, U.S. officials, including White House aides, have discussed figures ranging from $10,000 to $100,000 per person, said two of the sources who requested anonymity. Beautiful looking town right there. I'd like to buy it. Look at that beautiful little hillside town. Looks fake, but it's real. It's called Greenland. The idea of directly paying residents of Greenland and overseas territory of Denmark offers one explanation of how the U.S. might attempt to buy the island of 57,000 people, despite authorities' insistence in Copenhagen and Nuuk that Greenland is not for sale. Trump says it's for sale, you guys. It's for sale! The tactic is among various plans being discussed by the White House for acquiring Greenland, including potential use of the U.S. military, but it risks coming off as overly transactional and even degrading to a population that has long debated its own independence and its economic dependence on Denmark. Quote, enough is enough. No more fantasies about annexation, Greenland's Prime Minister Jens Frederik Nielsen wrote in a Facebook post on Sunday after U.S. President Donald Trump again told reporters the U.S. needed to acquire. Also, fun side fact, 100% of people in Greenland are named Jens Frederik Nielsen. That's unverified, but I believe it to be a fact. Leaders in Europe say the decision is for Denmark to make. Leaders in Copenhagen and throughout Europe have reacted to comments by Trump and other White House officials asserting their right to Greenland in recent days with disdain, particularly given that the U.S. and Denmark are NATO allies bound by a mutual defense agreement. On Tuesday, France, Germany, Italy, Poland, Spain, Britain, and Denmark issued a joint statement saying only Greenland and Denmark can decide matters regarding their relations. Trump, in response, went, la, 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 I can't hear you. Didn't hear it. During a press briefing, Levitt acknowledged that Trump and his national security aides were, quote, looking at what a potential purchase would look like. Rubio, not only our Secretary of State, but also makes a mean fish taco, said he would meet his Danish counterpart next week in Washington to discuss Greenland. Trump has long argued that the U.S. needs to acquire Greenland on several grounds, including that it is rich in minerals needed for advanced military applications. He also has said the Western Hemisphere broadly needs to be under the geopolitical influence of Washington. One source said White House aides were eager to carry over the momentum from the Maduro operation toward accomplishing Trump's other longstanding geopolitical goals of taking over the world by force. How fun that is. One of the sources familiar with the White House deliberations said the internal discussions regarding lump sum payments, Trump sum payments, as it were not necessarily new. However, that person said they had gotten more serious in recent days, and aides were entertaining higher values with a $100,000 per person payment, which would result in a total payment of almost $6 billion, a real possibility, and the strongest evidence yet that's going to make me move to Greenland to cash in on that 100K. Let's go. Many details of any potential payments were unclear, such as when and how they would be doled out if the Trump administration pursued that route, or what exactly would be expected of the Greenlanders in exchange. The White House has said military intervention is possible, though officials have also said the U.S. prefers buying the island or otherwise acquiring it through diplomatic means. So I would just like to summarize here. The U.S. is saying we would like to buy Greenland, or we'll just diplomatically discuss it and get them to give themselves to us, or we'll invade them. So it's just the normal stuff you talk about when in a financial negotiation that is not even invited or welcome in any way. It's important to note surveys also show most Greenlanders, while open to separating from Denmark, do not want to be part of the U.S. Wonder why? We're threatening to invade them and take them by force. Not exactly the red carpet rolled out you'd hope for from your new mamas and papas. Tehran?
Well, this all seems very funny. Trump's making those grandiose statements. We're going to take Greenland. We're going to go after them. We're going to give them money. But look what it's an indication of. First of all, the concept of even trying to extort and or buy votes, basically saying we'll give you $100,000 or we'll just come take it over. That's a very mafia tactic from this mafia regime that's currently heading the administration. It's very dangerous, the rhetoric that's being presented here. The idea that we're going to go after a completely autonomous nation, which has a parliamentary system and has ties to one of our allies, which is Denmark. This is once again, what's the word? Slippery slope. Just because they have REEs, these rare earth elements that we like and always covet, gold, zinc, iron, uranium, oil, natural gas, these things that we look for in a country, we're gonna go after them. And another thing is, look at the difference. We're not doing what we did to Venezuela. We're gonna buy them because they are of a different ethnicity, a different tone. These are things that we need to pay attention to. There's a racism in it. There's a placism in it. There's a hypocrisy that's in this. This is big business. This is corporate takeover. This is no longer American government. This is American mafia. And we need to be very, very cognizant of what this means to us and our global perception of how people look at the United States, because politics and global politic ideology is not just here and now, it's accumulative. It all adds up. How does the world perceive the United States? Are we still the savior? Are we the hero? Are we the leaders of democracy? Or are we becoming the big bad bully? Have we lived the superhero life enough that now we have become the villain? And that is that perception. And eventually all the other nations will come together and take us down because we are trying to take them down. What goes around comes around, and vice versa. And that's what we have to be very careful of. This is not just my opinion, this is historic. Look at the fall of every empire. We are living it today.
So I take it you're against taking over Greenland.
No, Greenland we should take. I mean,
Okay,
honestly,
great.
Greenland, like that's not, I mean, Greenland's a whole, like it's Greenland. Like you always see it, it's so big on the map. It's like, but this is what President Trump thinks this is gonna be his Louisiana purchase. This is gonna be his acquisition of Alaska. He wants to double the size. And by the way, I'm not against the United States going after territories of this nature. It's the way we do things that's important. It's the way we invade Venezuela. Go by the regulations. It's the way we threaten Greenland. That's not okay. If Greenland had shown its own want to join the United States, that's a conversation. But for us to threaten them or buy them out, that is problematic. That is not America.
And let me just float this idea to you, Tara. I'm curious your thoughts. Really, if Greenland wants to protect itself from America bringing it into the fold, they should just change their name to Brownland. And the Trump administration.
Ironically, that's funny. When I said this is not America, actually, you're right. This is what America has done traditionally, and it's very unfortunate. And if they did change their name to Brownland, maybe we wouldn't go after them the same way that we gave up Mexico after winning the war because we were like, we don't want more brown people. We don't want Cuba because they're brown people. We don't want Haiti because they're black people. Greenland, here's $100,000 a person.
Right, exactly right. And Mexico, one of the great countries, so that's a big bummer, But I guess
a great nation that, by the way, in the 1800s, there was an actual whole idea. Look it up. This isn't my opinion. This is history, where Mexico was about to be forced into the Union the way that the western part of the United States was. And yet in Congress and in Senate, the only way against it was, we don't want more brown people. That was literally what they said on the Senate floor.
At least we're consistent. It's really sad.